Hello again, everybody. Steve Politi from the Star-Ledger, joined by our world-famous Rutgers beat writer Tom Luicci, getting ready for the Rutgers-Cincinnati game this weekend. And Tom, for the first time, you seem to have brought a prop with you today. What do you have here?
I did, Steve. I brought the tape from the the Cincinnati-San Diego State game. Cincinnati played them last week, so the video guy at San Diego State owed me a favor. Decided to give me the tape. So, Greg, if you need the tape on San Diego State-Cincinnati, I have it here for you. No need to break any rules or to ask anybody, from the ACC for anything. I have it right here.
I tell you, after the Maryland game, though, perhaps this should be a remedial tackling tape. We laugh about this, but this is the third straight game that Rutgers had some sort of controversy. Of course, Ralph Friedgen was unhappy also about the late hit, or the perceived going after his quarterback. I mean, what's going on with all of this controversy after games, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know about all of them. It just seems like there's a lot sharper spotlight on Rutgers these days. But the thing I would say about the Ralph Friedgen thing, accusing Joe Lefebvre of trying to take the quarterback out of the game, that's a pretty strong accusation. And my question to Ralph Friedgen would be, why didn't the ACC officiating crew call that? Right. It's an obvious penalty. Why didn't they call it? Shouldn't the bigger issue be with the ACC crew that failed to see this obvious flagrant foul? Right. To me, it drives me crazy about college football. This is one of the things. You can call out an 18-year-old, accusing him of trying to maim another player, but you can't criticize a paid official because it's against the rules. It's one of the stupid things. I mean, that was a play that Mr. Magoo would have seen. Right. That's a Rutgers reference.
That's very good, exactly. This was not the finest game for the Rutgers defense, obviously coming off their first loss of the season. It just exposed a lot of flaws, I thought, in their ability to stop a more physical team. What did you come out of that game, the loss to Maryland?
Well, I would agree with that. I would say one thing. I think we're going to find out about Cincinnati, whether it was a one-game aberration or, as you say, a team being exposed. But one thing about Rutgers is if you know their defense in particular, they're built for speed. They have athleticism and speed. That's how the rest of the Big East is. It's an athletic, fast conference. Rutgers is built for its own conference. Maryland is not that kind of team. Maryland's more physical, power running game. We're going to run it down your throat. We got a big offensive line. That's a bad matchup for Rutgers.
All right, well, here's Cincinnati, 5-0. I'm amazed that, and this is a team that was essentially thrown into the Big East because they needed an eighth team. And here they are. They're in the top 25. They haven't lost since they beat Rutgers last year. I mean, what do you see from this team? Are they for real, or are we still not sure what to expect from Cincinnati?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet because of the caliber of the competition. Our Oregon State win was a good win for them, but San Diego State's not that good. The rest of the schedule, it's tough to get a handle on them just yet. By far, this is going to be a very telling game for both teams, I think. And we're going to find out a little bit more about both teams. But the thing about Cincinnati is they haven't, and even their head coach Brian Kelly admitted it. They haven't faced any adversity yet. They haven't been behind by a substantial margin. They haven't been up against it. They haven't had things that haven't worked. So let's see what happens when that does occur. And Rutgers is certainly going to make it a tough game for Cincinnati. We'll see how Cincinnati responds. Certainly, Cincinnati had the better of Rutgers last year, and I don't think Rutgers has forgotten that.
I guess if there's a good thing about the Maryland loss, it doesn't affect any of the goals for the season. This game, however, if they go 0-1 to start the Big East season, then you start wondering about the Big Bowl, the Big East Championship.
Yeah, they lose. They're in the Papa John's Bowl if they lose this, or the International Bowl. I mean, that's what you have to think with South Florida, West Virginia, and Louisville still on the docket. We're talking about going from a potential BCS Bowl, maybe the Gator Bowl if you finish second in the Big East, to dropping down. I have to get a passport. If we're going to go to Toronto for the International Bowl, I got to get a passport.
Toronto in January, not exactly.
I may have to get a passport for the Papa John's Bowl because it's in Alabama,
exactly.
But
Well, we both missed the game last week, obviously, like a lot of people did. Let's hear a prediction for this one.
I think Rutgers is going to bounce back. I really do, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm looking at something like a 27-23 with Ray Rice is going to be on the menu this week. I think Rice is going to carry the ball a lot.
I see a high-scoring game. I'm going to go something like 41-35 Rutgers. I do think they bounce back as well. And that's all for now. Thanks for the prop. Next week we'll even have some more.
Greg.
We have some more exciting stuff for you Rutgers fans. Thanks again.